Everybody's done with this all the time.
Before you call order, I just want you to know that I'm not working on other stuff, but I have to get payroll and my stuff to submit. So I'm paying attention, taking it 2 minutes. Whole profession. Gotta do it. Multitasking.
But if you gasp, well, you can.
I know. No, it's just with Juneteenth, everything got moved up. It's
You know, it's the 20th, this
Next month. Okay, yeah, it's next week. Okay.
well, no, but the banks are closed.
Yeah.
So everything gets moved a day.
Right, but isn't it the 20th? Isn't it
19th?
Oh, it's 17th.
Okay, Thursday.
All right.
I guess I'm not up with everything. We keep moving our holidays around. I have a hard time with Christmas.
And knowing you, Nancy, you work for a lot of this holiday.
Yeah, but we've also done events that are on the holidays. Well, a lot of times they move them around so they're more convenient, you know, Mondays and things. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. But we got a lot going on in Bothell. We got all kinds of holidays and celebrations and stuff.
See,
So
Okay.
we are ready on our end. We're
Okay,
starting
so-
to record, so
Okay.
we can officially get going if you'd like.
sure, let's call this to order. And we have myself, Jessie, Nancy, Sandra, Billie Jean, Hannah, Tanisha, and Danae, all present here.
And Tanisha.
I said that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
I apologize.
No.
We might want to do you want to do introductions?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
We have a couple of people.
Okay. So shall I start?
Yes, please. It's nice talking. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
shut up now and
Hello, I'm Jean Zorns. I've lived in Bothell since 1986, which is longer than some of you thought. But, and I'm on Bothell City Council.
Andrew Leaf, and I'm director of the Chamber of Commerce.
Jesse Olson. I am the hotel manager of Anderson School of New Vineyards. I've actually lived in Bothell for 20-something years now at this moment.
I'm Hannah Willard. I just bought what was formerly Suga, Fine Art and Framing, is now Willard Art and Framing. And I've lived in Bothell, I think, since off and on since 2016. But,
Yeah, well, I'm on credit since 1999.
yeah, there you go. We all got it.
There you go.
Nancy Pipnich, I have the State Farm Agency on Main Street where all the action is lately.
It took me a minute to get here.
If you like to watch road construction, come on down. And I started in Kenmore and then I moved to Bothell in 97 and moved my agency here in 2014. And I love it. And we have a lot of fun here.
I'm Tanisha Tadamy. I'm the Administrative Services Coordinator. I've been in Bothell for a year now. I'm from California. I've been in the Parks and Recreation field for over 10 years, so I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, well, great. Well, welcome to this room with us.
Are you new here too?
Yes.
As far as this like group?
From this group, yes. This is
Okay.
my first reason with this group.
Same.
You want to be last?
And you guys have all.
Okay.
So Steve is not your first.
Okay, and Billie Jean, would you like to introduce yourself?
Nice. Not really nice.
Sure. My name's Billie Jean, and I'm the general manager for the Holiday Inn Express in Bothell. I have been part of the hotels here since 2008. Lived here since 2007, moved from Montana, worked for McMillan's and helped them set up for about 9 months. Have 3 kids and 5 grandkids. Too bad I'm not there to actually meet you all in person again. I look forward to the next meeting.
And on the next meeting, we can share grandkid pictures.
Yeah, I just had 2 new ones just in the last couple of months. So,
Congratulations.
thanks.
Today, last but certainly not least.
Danae McGee, Tourism Arts Commission Manager, City of Bothell. Been here since 2017. I love it. It's a great community.
Okay. We need an approval of the agenda in its order and content. Want to make a motion or you want a chance to look at it?
I motion to approve.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. I don't think we need to do abstention. All right, next item. Public comments, have we received any at all?
Have not.
We just
Oh,
don't get
that's
the
nice.
No public is present. And special presentation, no special presentation. We got new business. Consideration of the April 15th, 2025 meeting minutes. Would you like us to approve them?
Yes, please.
Anybody get a chance to look at them?
Mhm.
Anyone want to make a motion?
I motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Thanks, Billie Jean, we gotcha. All right. All right, next, current opening on, oh no, sip and stay. We need to do sip and stay.
So, as most of you know, Sip and Stay is a program that we've been doing for a very long time. And it's a very popular program. Essentially, what we do is we use some of our hotel motel tax funds to purchase Woodinville Wine Country's passports to taste. And then we gift them to our area hotels. And the hotels participate by providing a discount at their hotel. And in exchange, people that stay at the hotel can get up to 2 passports per room. And it's a very popular program, like I mentioned. And in fact, what's really great about it is that we do have people within 50 miles away that sign up for it. But for the most part, we are seeing people from 50 miles away or more. We can track all of it and we can see who is actually signing up to do it. And we have people from all over the country that are coming and from Canada. It's been, and Sandra Lee can probably help out a little bit more in answering any questions that you may have. But in a nutshell, there has been some pushback from the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board for years about this program, and they haven't really pushed enough to stop the program from happening. However, there's a new, I think there's a new person that is working for the board that is representing Woodinville Wine Country, and they took a look at the past and they said, no, this isn't above board for whatever reason. And so they asked Adam, the executive director at Woodinville Wine Country, to ask us to put a hold on Sip and Stay. So what we've done is we have removed it from the website and we have removed it from all of the marketing that we do. However, they're still technically live. So if somebody calls the hotel and says, hey, why can't we find this? We want to do it. They have the passports and they're going to honor
But
it.
they already exist in the world, like the people have them already, so.
People have
Well, so the bottom line is that, it's basically reselling the ability to drink like 3 times
Not their
over.
qualm with it.
No, it's not the pass itself. But even then, there's a lot of layers to the liquor control board complexity of it.
Yeah.
And so it's just that added element of going to the hotel with the liquor control board lately is just adding a complexity that they feel that we could get fined for.
Gotcha.
And so they'll still honor them and you could go, and it's crazy.
Yeah, Bothell is a big thing.
Everybody, why isn't somebody just figuring out how to legitimize that? I guess this is just such
Well,
a.
you know what, I'm gonna-
Right now.
We can have a glass of wine and talk about it.
Okay.
But the only reason I say
I
that.
like to use a passport when we do.
Yeah.
Is that, after running the wine association for 7 years, every time you call the liquor control board, you get a different answer.
Yeah.
And they're streamlining in some ways with their new automated service, but it jeopardizes the wineries, it jeopardizes the city, and it's just not worth it. And so having them honor it that way is great, and it's a way to segue out. But
And the hotels are not selling the passports. We bought them already. So it's not like there's
Is that the issue that it's free booze?
it's the You know, and this is my opinion, it comes down to who's being taxed where and how.
Yeah.
It's about taxes.
Yeah.
And not about the ability to control who's 21 or anything legally about alcohol. And it gets to the point when we do an activity, even when we have a special occasion license, and they already have a liquor license, it has to be in a roped off area. I mean, there's so many layers to it.
Trust me, I know.
So honestly, I think that it's a board member being cautious. Even before that literally like the month before I left, or like a couple months before I left, I was down in Olympia with a group of executive directors of wine nonprofits. And I was sitting there going, well, they're going to shut our passport down. It's like the way they were talking and what we had to do for certain experiences, we were under the radar for so long that, So and there's some new legislation coming down and it's just complex.
Messy.
Okay. Hey, next item? Sure, yes. I feel like we devoted to grief, but.
Yeah.
Surprised if I have passports, and somebody does call, barely anything calls for passport, because I wasn't doing Saturdays, right? If they do, we can still honor it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just hard when you have a program that seems to be working that people like, and then that's all.
I think there's other ways to create an experience and we can get creative for the next, this fall or next year.
Still use the passport, but maybe not alcohol or.
Yes, and, but I'm just saying we can still use wooden bill in a creative way.
Yeah.
We just, the physical actual path to drink.
Yeah.
It just has to come out a different way. It could be a coupon code that they go over there and issue it, you know, so we're not technically selling it. I mean, there's a few ways around it. But I think what Danae is being cautious about is that it has to be Woodville Wine Country's board that approves of the process as well. Yeah.
So the Woodinville Wine Country Executive Director and his lobbyists are trying to set up a meeting with the board to have this discussion. But there's also other issues that they're having and other laws that are going into effect that they're also having conversations about. So we seem to be one aspect of several conversations, and I don't even think it's a priority, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They have other fish to fry right now.
Yeah.
When it's like you said, it's not worth getting a fine over something like this.
Well, and I do think when Danae meets with them, I think there are creative ways of having a coupon code or ways where it doesn't jeopardize anybody's license.
Well, and it's not a bad idea, Sandra, because we could, with our contract with Van Wango, we could recreate some kind of a pass using them to continue doing this. I don't know if that would be an issue because we would then start marketing it again. And so rather than people, we are using them already. That's the problem. So they're only getting, when they go to the hotel's giving them the code through Van Wango to access the passport. So
It's and yes, they use Van Wango too, but the issue is who's getting the dollars for the taste. And that's what we have to work out. It's about taxes and who's getting paid for the taste of alcohol.
and it's an issue with the passport just in general. It's not necessarily our Citizen State.
No, that's what I mean. Oh, no,
It
that's
is.
why when I was in that meeting and it's just taken them 5 years to catch up again and talk about it.
Yeah.
I was like running from the meeting going, let's just not say anything and keep going on this very lucrative project.
Yeah.
So.
Ready for next item?
Sure.
We have a current opening on LTAC.
Yes, unfortunately, as all of you know, when you apply to be on LTAC, you go through a process, you fill out a form, and then our wonderful council members interview and then make a decision and select the members. It's not easy. We are required by law to have 3 hoteliers on our board. And it used to be really simple. We had really dedicated hoteliers that were a part of LTAC, and then the pandemic hit and things have been really difficult in the field. And so we had just brought on the GM at Residence Inn, and she had gone through the process. She had done all the paperwork and done all the requirements that the testing. And then, she left, Residence Inn, so she wasn't even able to attend one meeting. So we do have an opening. I will be, there's a new GM at Country Inn and Suites. I'm actually staying there tonight, so I'm gonna go there and meet David and have a conversation with him, and hopefully we can encourage him to apply and we can get it filled, because if we don't, we'll wait another year for that to happen. So anyway, we just have that one opening at this point, but wanted to let you know that we do have an opening, and
How long has he been there?
not very long.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad,
Enough fresh.
yeah,
Yeah.
only for responsiveness.
Yeah.
The other one, I just think when it's corporate, they're more spreadsheet oriented and not community sometimes.
Yeah.
And so, sorry.
Hey, I'm not
It was hard.
corporate,
They're
yeah.
regional.
But it's part of
Regional corporate.
You know what I mean? It was hard.
Pretty
to-
much corporate.
Okay. It was PC way to say that.
Last item on the new business is walk the 4th of July parade in the park.
Yeah, so the Parks Department this year has decided that they would like to walk the 4th of July parade. And they will have a couple of vehicles in place. I think they'll actually be the closing of the parade. And it will include our park board members, our arts commission members, and then because you're part of the Parks Department, you can also walk or drive if you're interested, and wave a flag and wave at people and pass out candy if you're interested. So if you are interested, reach out to me, just send me a quick email and say, yes, I'd love to be part of the Parks Department's participation in the 4th of July Festival. And then let me know if you want to walk. It's a little over a mile-long walk. It begins at UW Bothell, where they start the whole process and the parking lot. And then you literally walk, I think, by the cemetery, and then you loop around and you come down Main Street. And then when you get to Bothell Boulevard, you turn right, and then you go up to Popkini Stadium. So it is a bit of a walk. Historically, the last 4 years, it's been very warm. So if you do want to walk, make sure that you bring water. And because there will be, I don't remember the time now, but I think it was like 9:30 in the morning or early that they're wanting you to be at that staging area. But if you do want to do it and you're available and you want to walk, I'll forward you the details. If you want to do it, but you don't want to walk, let me also know that, so that we can make sure that we get you inside a air-conditioned vehicle, away from the vehicle.
In the last many years, I've had the city set aside a spot on Main Street for elderly, and I put a bunch of chairs out and make a space for people with
Just great.
their little wheelchair carts and all of that. Make sure they have water in the bathroom nearby. And so that's what I do that day. But I forgot, I've been out on medical leave, and I forgot to ask somebody from the city to do that. Do you know who I asked? I was gonna email Nick, but I'm not sure. Nick,
That would be great.
Okay.
Give me Nick an email and
I'll make sure I do that
on to
today.
Public Scott.
I just out, of the brain.
No
Okay,
worries.
thank you.
There's time.
And I think if you do it to Nick and then also to Recreation at, whoever's managing that email right now. Oh, hi. I was just about to say, it's really responsive.
Can I ask you then today if we can do that? And I'll, in fact, if you write down your email
That's
address
just
for me,
recreation.
I will just.
I'll make sure the real one too.
Well, that right away. I meant to do that last time I talked to you. I think I wrote something here, but
Is
I might have too much.
Valley View Drive, past the cemetery down to
Oh, interesting.
Kaysner intersection, because all the neighbors, the pull out their chairs on their front lawn. But everybody who's lined up to do the
Thanks,
parade
Anisha.
is tired of waiting, so they're flinging cans. Ready to get the parade going. Even if the pirates are
From my office.
that's great. It's not, 5-6 people.
And we old people hang out there.
Yeah,
Does
so
anyone have any idea about the Main Street? Are they planning on having the parade go through that, and they're pulling down the bollards, the new ones,
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, that's what I
We'll have
thought,
it- We'll
but
have it completed. The project will be completed by
it
then.
will be pretty well.
So the new
Yeah, they're
bollards,
moving on.
do they retract into the ground or do they just, they can be removed?
They can be removed.
Yeah.
So like the ones that, the rest of the ones that we have on the street, that they can just relocate them, is that how they do it?
I think they're taking the ones out of the way, right? The ones that are currently there, like the blocks and the big ugly signs.
Well, they can go close, yeah.
Yeah.
I-
I can imagine why it would.
It's gonna look so much nicer. I mean, it's just been such a flying monkey situation. Beware, stay out. I mean, I really like it, yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's a safety issue for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, yes.
I have only a little.
And Fourth of July is only a few weeks away.
It's only like 2 weeks, I think, right now.
We're in the parade, the Bothell tree lighting and the
Yeah.
chamber, or we would walk in.
Yeah.
I'm working, so I won't be here for
Yes.
a while.
I'll probably,
Yeah.
Is this week the longest, we're the longest day of the year, Lance?
I don't know.
I think it is. Isn't first day of summer the end of this week?
Probably the
it's like
20th.
It's the longest day of the year?
Yeah, so it's gonna start getting darker.
No.
Oh, not that fast.
No, not yet.
That was such a glass half empty.
no, I was really,
What it is, there's no cookies this morning. If Judy had some cookies.
I thought about it.
that.
I thought, no, we're hard to get, it was hard to get you to eat donuts. I thought, no, they're all being sensible. Okay, so honor that. I'll bring cookies.
It'll help
Yeah,
everything, Judy.
Okay, old business, World Cup.
Please chime in, because I'm still loving the idea that I can hear what everyone's thinking about and what they're doing. I attended a chamber meeting last week, and Sandra Lee had mentioned that there were conversations happening with local businesses about being World Cup ready. I've had several conversations with other communities to find out kind of what they're doing. Redmond is hosting Club World Cup, which is happening right now. They're kind of kickstarting their World Cup to see how much excitement there is by having watch parties at Redmond Town Center. They are renting a large screen. They have a lot of money available for Club World Cup and World Cup, so it's fascinating. Nick has mentioned that council seems to be interested in doing, something around World Cup. And as I mentioned in a previous meeting, I presented to council back in October, kind of what LTAC's wishes and desires were. They didn't seem to be overly interested in what we had recommended, which is fine, that's their prerogative, but that means that they will be probably getting together soon to have conversations about what kind of funding they want to dedicate toward World Cup and having watch parties. Their wish is that we not only do watch parties, but we also promote those businesses that will be having watch parties at their locations.
Just because I'm not clear about the World Cup thing, was it in the old minutes that we had the discussion, like the last
Not at
meeting?
the last meeting.
Or been a couple,
so-
okay, would you mind giving me like a summary of what
Yeah,
that was?
absolutely. World Cup is the most popular sporting event in the world.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it happening here?
It's happening, in
Okay, I just
Lumen Stadium.
Okay,
Yeah, and in fact, Club World Cup is also happening at Lumen Stadium, which is going on right now.
this year or?
Right now.
Oh,
It's
not right now,
happening
okay.
Club World Cup is not as popular as World Cup. Club is literally the clubs around the world that are playing to be their team or turn the best club team in the world. So the Sounders are participating in Club World Cup. World Cup would be the best players from your country. And right now they're still competing to determine who will make the 24 teams that will be comprised of World Cup. For the first time ever, it always takes place, it happens every 4 years.
Yeah.
And sorry, I don't mean to like.
No, I
know.
No, a little bit of it, but yeah, I was just curious how our involvement.
Yeah, there's like
with that.
7 games that are going to be, that are happening right now this month for Club World
Okay.
Cup. And then a year from now, there'll be about 7 games happening at Lumen Field.
Okay,
From a marketing standpoint, we've already begun marketing both Club World Cup and World Cup and telling people why Bothell should be their place to stay.
yeah,
We talk about, our hotels, we talk about our free parking, we talk about how you're getting away from the craziness and how the cost to be at our hotels cheaper. than
Close enough
it
to
would be in
Seattle. Where, yeah.
We also have
Like-
been curating our blogs around the education of how to get to Seattle from Bothell. So we've got a blog that we keep re-promoting about transportation from Bothell to Seattle. And then we also keep re-promoting the different venues in Seattle for not only Lumenfield, but also the Kraken at Climate Pledge and our other stadiums. So that is part of our ongoing work from a marketing standpoint.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Shoreline is right on the edge of Seattle, so they're really wanting to be involved with their work. We've met several times with the Seattle Chamber. So Shoreline, Kenmore, Bothell, Ashish is gone. And so we're all just waiting and kind of creating a toolkit ourselves and waiting for the greater Seattle Chamber to create the master one, small business.
Okay.
But I think that both Danae and Ashish are really staying on the pulse of what's going on and how we can best support the businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, the chamber or an outside vendor could set up a watch party, but it also detracts from businesses wanting to have a watch party. And that World Cup is making it pretty affordable for, depending on how many people you can fit in your bar or restaurant to watch it, to get the licenses. So I think that as things progress, we'll be giving more information to all the businesses so that they can jump in
some aspect.
in the way they want to. And that will be coming out over the next, it sounds like so long, but 6 months.
Yeah.
I think by the end of summer, we'll have a lot more clarity on how our small businesses can play. And then that'll give council probably a better idea of how we want.
And when is the event?
It's in June and July, right?
Oh, next year.
There's June, there's the smaller one happening now, but
Seems like safety would be a really big buzzword for us. Smaller environment.
That's a great point.
So much unrest right now that slows people down from wanting to go to major metropolitan areas. And it gives us a big advantage that we're not in the middle of some of the goings on.
well, one of the things that happens is that they create fan zones around Washington. And so fan zones get assigned different countries. So Everett, I believe, is a fan zone, as well as Yakima.
Spokane.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe not Olympia, but I think Vancouver, Washington. So there's just pockets of fan zones.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people come and they don't even go to the game.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
But they're fans and they want to be part of it.
Yeah, part of the community.
So I think leveraging the fan zones that are near us is where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Will probably be key for Bothell.
Yeah. Is it something that we could become too, or is it too like logistically?
No. They're political and
Got you.
economically driven and
Okay.
already decided.
Completely different. Yes.
And they're by
Essentially,
country?
looking-
They're by
Well, it's different countries all the time. So like Brazil and Greece might be in it, right? They're looking it up. But
Oh, I
then
see.
there's people that come from out of country or locals that they want to watch their game with their people.
Yeah.
So they'll be up there in fans.
And at this point, we don't know which countries are actually participating in World
Yeah.
Cup, and we
Well,
won't
and
know
who's gonna
until
play
December.
here. Yeah.
Exactly, and who's gonna play, other than the United States. If you are hosting World Cup, and for the first time ever, we have 3 host nations. We have Canada, the United States, and Mexico. So all 3 countries are automatically guaranteed a bid into World Cup. So we do know that the United States will be playing at Lumen Field once or twice, and we know which date that is. We just don't know who they're playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Who else is in?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the winner of the last World Cup is also guaranteed a bid.
I don't know what that was.
Hmm.
For you.
It,
So is
no,
there
it's-
anything
it was
we need
Brazil.
to do?
Brazilian.
No.
We
Yeah.
don't need to take any action. This is an awareness conversation as
Yeah.
opposed to we need to take action conversation.
Well, the only action is already being done through Begin at Bothell and our marketing channel. We've already begun to do that. We're already telling that story.
Yeah.
And then we're just trying to stay on top of kind of what is going to happen next. So we have as much time as possible to prepare. If there will be funds available, then it's all right. How is this going to look? And And then having conversations about how much money is needed. I just learned, and this is pure speculation, a rumor. The person that made this announcement is from the city of Redmond. However, this person does not actually put it on, but the watch party that they're doing for Love World Cup coming up on the 23rd of this month is, they had to rent an outdoor screen, $13,000 for one day.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, then you pay another 12 just to stream it, and then you pay, I mean, so it's a 50 to, we were talking at another meeting, it's 50 to 80 without even thinking, $1,000 to do a massive watch party,
Yeah.
which you would want to if you're even spending the money to do it.
Yeah,
on a
you want to
larger
make
scale.
it big, yeah.
And what we're all keeping an eye on is how popular the watch party is in Redmond that comes up on the 23rd of this month, hoping, I'll be out of town on vacation, but
Saturday.
No, that's a Monday.
Monday, okay, next.
Or Tuesday.
and that's the other thing, a lot of these games are on weekdays. And so the people that are coming in from from other countries, that's great because they're on vacation. But, for the people that are local, that's why originally the LTAC decided months ago that they really wanted to focus on supporting the local businesses that will be having the watch parties in their bars.
Okay.
I think, yeah, I love the fact that we're just reminding people that are looking ahead that they can stay here. I mean, I think that's the smartest thing we can do because until you know where your fan zone is, but we have a huge Brazilian population on the east side, and so we're going to have a lot of people watching, but they might go to their local favorite places.
And, we do have some complications happening right now. US Travel Association has been discussing and really trying to advocate at the national level to ensure that every country that will be coming to the United States, those individuals can easily get the passports that they need.
Yeah.
And they announced that some of the countries that may make it, some of those countries, people are already trying to get their passports now and they're not going to get them in time. So there are a lot of policy issues that are coming up right now that they're trying to work out at the national level.
Ready for the next one? Staff report. First time we have is downtown Bothell.
It's been really exciting for me to be working with our new economic development coordinator and Sandra Lee on the ways that we can continue to build economic development in Bothell. Prior to the pandemic, I felt that there was momentum happening in that way. However, things kind of slowed down a bit. And now, we have new leadership in place and we're working on some great collaborative efforts to not only improve the downtown area of Bothell and all of Bothell for that matter, but also just prepping to be World Cup ready. That's the way I'm enjoying looking at it. So Ashish, our economic development coordinator here at the city, has been tasked by council to activate lots E, F, and G. And that's that lot that's right here on the corner that is been used as kind of a gravel parking lot for a number of years. If you don't know the background on that lot, it's owned by the city. However, it's contaminated dirt and it's being, there's been all kinds of work, remediation is going on right now to clean that dirt up in order to get it ready to sell. So that takes 5 to 7 years to clean that dirt. However, that doesn't mean that you can't walk on it and you can't be part of it. It's not like it's contaminated it's below ground. So all that remediation that's happening, and I don't fully understand it, but it is happening below ground. So you can actually go out there and there's some kind of a post, I think, where that's happening. But Ashish has been given the task to get that space moving and activated and not just look the way it does. And so, as you know, the pop shops have been there for a number of years and there's been 4 of them. But now there are 4 new pop shops that are going in and probably have noticed that they're there. And then there's also some new design elements that are happening within that area. There's now portable restrooms there. There's going to be a garden there so that people, like a pea patch, it's not in the dirt, it's above ground, and so that area can be used. And then from that art standpoint, we have a grant program in place called the Creative Arts Grant Program, which is now live. We're accepting applications. So you can go to the city's Arts Commission page to look at that, the guidelines, and then apply if you're interested. Had a great conversation with an artist that specializes in public art, and this is an artist that is currently working with Sound Transit to incorporate art into the infrastructure of all of the light rail and also the buses that are the rapid buses that are happening all around Bothell. And she's interested in doing a public art project at Lot E, F, and G. So if she does apply, it's not guaranteed. We obviously have a panel of professional artists that review all the applications. But if they were to receive funding, then we could incorporate some of that temporary art into that space as well. There's also opportunity to maybe do some kind of a temporary project around concrete art. So that's something to think about too, if you're interested in applying. So that's one aspect of some kind of ways that we're working to activate downtown. Another project is Ashish receives funding from the Port of Seattle. This is for economic development in the region. The port has certain guidelines about what is acceptable for projects. One thing that they aren't interested in is continuing to fund the same projects over and over again. So Sandra painfully knows how that works because she worked with the past economic development coordinator to do a project called Summer.
It was a revitalization that connected the community and the businesses. So we did Summerfest 3 years in a row. And so now we're still working with Danae and she's on this grant, but we're changing it up to be more creative because we had to change it up anyway. Yeah.
And that's basically you're excited to work with us. It's just that we can't do the same project again. So,
well, and that's not always bad. I mean, it's hard to tell your members, hey, it's not going to look like it is in the past, but I think we're still connecting community, and that's really what our role will be, is connecting community with a more creative art installation, temporary art installation over the next year and a half, a few different times. So it'll be fun.
So there's a good chunk of money. There's the port money, and then the city has to match the money. And so we're looking at putting together a evergreen downtown public art plan. And it would be an artist authored public art plan for downtown that would make it possible to have rotating temporary and semi-permanent public art. So this person would be tasked with putting together a roster of artists. So it would become a plan that is evergreen with a roster that's evergreen, as well as those businesses and landlords that are interested in participating. The goal is to kind of mirror a project that was done in Wichita, Kansas, called Front Porch. And the idea is that there will be artists that will be selected to work with certain businesses to put together a uniform theme for their business so that we can have a look and a feel that is welcoming and creative and also hopefully, spur more economic development to our downtown core. We're hoping that the first thing will be around World Cup. So it could be something creatively around soccer balls and everything that's soccer. It could be around the countries that we know are going to be here, welcoming them. There could be some temporary ways to add light to all, what we're already doing with the poles, but during the holidays. So there's some things that we can be doing, and there is funding available for that. We don't have to use hotel motel tax funds for that. So that's the exciting news. This is port money and matching funds from the city to do that. So RFP has been drafted, and this would be for the artist authored public art plan. that would include the roster and the list of artists, and then also some creative themes that we could use.
I mean, the point is really to connect a theme and then also have something about the business too. So it's not just in front of theirs and totally separate. The whole point is that it's combining the elements of the business as well, and my thought.
I think so too. That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
So it's really like if it, I mean, I use this example every time I talk about it because it's easy, but it's like if not that they're doing this, but if it was a sushi place, they might have a sushi roll art installation outside. You know, it's about sushi, but it's not like it has to replicate what the business is. It's just pulling all those elements together and still reflecting whether it's the values, the culture, or the vibe of that business. It doesn't have to be like, you know, food item, but so we'll see. But the idea is, like she was saying, is that it's going to maybe self-perpetuate after that grant cycle is over, to where the businesses will want to keep engaging or really find ways to keep engaging with it. Yeah, so I think it'll be fun. And also, I think it gives us, and that's where the chamber comes in, it gives us an opportunity to help market and connect the community with it. And I think it also is a conversation for tourism as well. Like it gives us something more to talk about and to attract people. And I think anytime we can say, hey, if you're at McMenamins, it's beautiful, but you might want to walk around and here are things you can do and picture opportunities like that. But I think one of the things we're working on behind the scenes right now is you want good metrics out of it and you want to show that it really does do something. And so that's what the chamber is working on at the moment.
I think once the toolkit is in place for World Cup, then we can also have conversations around, you know, some of those, like how to welcome our visitors in a uniform way, whether it be through art, whether it be through the businesses having a cohesive hours, for example. You know, everyone's open at the same time, and you know, if it's during World Cup, you know, and it's a night game, and the game, you know, the businesses are open. You know, those kinds of conversations have yet to come.
Well, but it's not a grant for World Cup. It's a grant to actually perpetuate economic development in the future.
The plan is evergreen, so we'll be able to use it over and over again. However, the funding for the first theme, which whatever it is, will only be one time.
And really quick, I might have missed this, but what's the evergreen? What is, you keep saying that, what is that? Is it just like a title of?
It's a public,
area?
no, like, it's ongoing, like the public art plan will not be something that will be used once and sit on a shelf.
Gotcha.
It's something that we can use over and over and over again. And then hopefully we'll have funding, not necessarily through the port, but maybe through other sources, whether it be city's general fund or whether it be through other grant sources to continue to hire artists to come up with new themes and new projects so that there is that continuity with all the businesses.
Okay. That makes more sense.
And then eventually, you know, if it works out, you know, there's other neighborhoods involved too that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be downtown. It's just this grant. It's King County and Maryland. Well,
It would be nice to see things open up for Canyon Park area.
Does Snohomish County have a similar program? Do they have funds for anything like that?
I don't think so. I know that they don't have an arts commission that has grant funding available. There's been talk about that happening. And then there is the Port of Everett, but I don't know if they have grants available through the port at this time.
yeah, it's not as clear.
Sometimes, you know, Canyon Park and some of the other areas of Bothell get this kind of a left out posture they take. And it didn't occur to me till this minute that, you know, we're in King County here. And so if we're getting funding from King County.
Well, that's why this is specifically where it is because of the King County. But what the hope and what Ashisa's bigger goal and why working with Danae is to use it as evergreen. It isn't evergreen just for downtown. It's okay, now we did this. Now, hey, Phillips and some of these other bigger companies in Canyon Park, like just we have a proven model. Let's do it here, right? And then there's also other grants and stuff that might be found. It's just, yeah, almost, it's great to have that pilot and show how it can work and the outcomes so that we can replicate.
But it's also some feedback for the people who criticize and are unhappy that this always seems to be on the King County side of things, that's where the funds are coming from. I mean, I didn't realize that there was a funding issue with Snohomish County activities like this. So I'm just pointing out that I don't think most people would even cross.
Well, I think what you are saying, I think we really, have to get that out there as part of the conversation, in that we're not just picking it, it's actually, we have to pick that area.
Right, this isn't some sort of favoritism, is the point
No,
that I'm
and-
making, that this is where the funds can be used.
Right, and then the goal is to actually, I mean, they have huge goals for vitality plans to really re-energize,
All of Bothell, not just
Right.
the downtown.
yeah.
So, and those, that it's, and I know Billy just wanted to say something, but, our planning department is working on, how that would look, North Creek and Canyon Park, but
Yeah.
it's in the planning process, it's not in construction somewhere.
Yeah.
We have to start somewhere.
Hey, Billie Jean.
Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But how long have we been doing this LTAC and pulling the LTAC, money, the tax, the $2? How long has this been going on though? And nothing's been done in the Canyon Park area though. So it's all been, it's different counties, Snohomish versus King. But here, the money from the hotels are still contributing, but we're not seeing anything over this way at all.
Well, the particular art installation and grant we're talking about is not LTAC, but it does not negate your comment. But I just wanted you to know the conversation we're having right now is around a specific King County grant with the Port of Seattle. But yes, there definitely needs to be some emphasis with LTAC dollars in those areas. I'm not negating that.
Most of LTAC's
Absolutely.
spent on the computer program. We have Begin at Bothell,
The
which is
marketing.
the marketing, which is all inclusive. That is the lion's share of where the funds go. These activities we're talking about we really haven't spent any LTAC money on any of that. So we're just talking about how do we use the internet resource we have that we pay for, Begin at Bothell, which is all inclusive with Bothell. How do we use all these events and all these going-ons to put them on Begin at Bothell and try to, spread some of the good juju around that's happening using the resource that we control, which is our Begin at Bothell resource. I think we're going to look at our budget here in just a minute, and you'll be able to see where the money goes. So there's no redheaded stepchild here.
Well, but
She isn't getting funds.
Yeah, I mean, but I agree that we don't emphasize it enough in a lot of projects. I mean, perception, it feels like that. And I think sometimes we don't maybe message enough or brag about things we've done up there. And so I think it's just a good point that we need to call that out more so people are aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the boundary was so low. I just looked it up
Mhm.
on the King County, like King versus Snohomish. It's like barely past the Canyon Park, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not even quite to Canyon Park, is it?
No,
Yeah,
it
Canyon Park, the interchange is like, it's lower than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just up the street here.
Yeah.
Well, it has zigzags, yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
But heard, and I think that's something we can have at another meeting is kind of discuss that, because I think part of it is messaging.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, ready for the next item? Summer events.
So we have quite a few summer events that are happening this year. We have our summer nights, which are produced by the Parks Department, and that will really kick off on July 4th. And then after that, we'll have our series that we've been doing now a number of years on Friday nights. They're all free. They're all open to the public. We are marketing summer nights through Begin at Bothell, so that is a way that we can use the LTAC funds. There'll also be, for the first time, some movie nights that will be over at North Creek in the grassy area there. We've done that before in the past, where we used to have performances there, but we'll be doing movies. The performances are entertainment-based bands that will be performing in the amphitheater at the Park at Bothell Landing. There'll also be some kid performances that are happening weekdays during the summer months as well. Another project that the council had a really big involvement around is a night market. They were very interested in really activating Main Street and having this night market. They dedicated some funds in order to do that. Our Parks Department did an RFP and requesting, we did not have the capacity internally to manage this series that they were interested in having produced. So we did an RFP, and there was one separate group marketing agency that applied, an event marketing agency out of Seattle called Gilly Wagon. They accepted the contract. It took quite a while to get everything in place, and Tanisha understands that. She's been kind of holding their hand through the process. And they're doing, I think, 15 different night markets on Saturday nights on Main Street in that closed off area. They kicked off this past weekend. Typically, they're all Saturday nights. However, they kicked it off by doing a Friday night Pride night, and then a Saturday night was Father's Day themed. Every Saturday night is a different theme. You can go to their website. You can find it through the city's website or Begin at Bothell, and then you can click onto their website to see the full lineup.
Which department provided funding for this, like to hire them on?
I would say it's the Parks Department that was kind of responsible for doing the RFP, the request for proposals, and then managing the contract.
General fund.
Okay.
City general fund dollars is how the funds were that council approved. And the evenings go from 7 to midnight. So kicked off this weekend. I think there was some good crowds on Friday night, Saturday night. Someone stopped by at around 9 o'clock, and it was fairly quiet. So I think that there's going to be some adjusting that may occur. We do think that they need to be doing a better job marketing.
Yeah, because most people have no idea of what was
At
going on.
midnight, there's nothing at midnight on Main Street.
Yeah.
Well, and that becomes part of that conversation as we start talking about being World Cup ready is, you know, are there businesses that would be interested in changing their hours while the series is going on and being open during that time?
Yeah.
Well, what does that look like? And then what would it look like for World Cup too, if necessary? So, yeah, you're asking great questions, and I know that Sandra has talked to businesses too on Main Street, but more marketing needs to happen. They've got 14 more weeks to do that, and I do know that
It's new.
there's
It takes time.
conversations.
Yeah.
It does take time.
Their vendor structure is really interesting too. I don't think they have very many like vendors set up. That was like the one thing that I noticed on Friday night and on Saturday was that they just didn't
We're
have.
only ever planning on having 8 to 11.
Yeah, they didn't even have that though.
It's yeah.
Because of the non-advertising. Or
Well, I think it's a couple of things. One is that they just finished the contract, right?
Yeah.
And
very
so
quickly.
they're building up momentum. Secondly, you get all these vendors, but then no one shows up, right?
Yes.
So you only want a certain amount of vendors for what the population is going to be, so you don't waste people's time. And thirdly, it's anytime you start something new, you have to work up to it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's going to take half the summer for people to be like, oh, I didn't even know that was happening.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing what can happen like 3 blocks away and you just get in your little bubble. But
That happened with summer nights. You know, we're now in our third or fourth year doing it, and it took people that are now coming are like, oh, I didn't know this was happening. You know, it does. Word of mouth is a big deal. When
we well, I was part of, maybe it was year 2, I started with Celebrate Woodinville and the concert series in the park in Woodinville, And so, you know, at first we had like 300, then we had 4 or 5, and now we have a few thousand, right? Like 10 years later. So, or more than 10 years. But the point is, it's just momentum.
Yeah.
But I think it's this balance of, you know, we want more activity downtown to drive community awareness, but then it gets in the way of the regular customer, and it's just navigating, are we hurting the restaurants, or are we helping them? And I've only heard the negative, and I keep trying to spin it, like, just give it a minute
Yeah.
and see. But if you through between the construction on the streets, the new apartment building, the Ballards going in, this is a weird time in downtown Bothell. And I think it's gonna take till the end of July to really see if this is something people want, because I mean, if you go on Facebook, you want to slit your throat right now. I mean,
Yeah,
nervous.
so many criticisms.
Right.
That's all it is.
Well, just because no one likes the inconvenience.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to park to come here today, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I drive around 3 blocks just to get here, you know? And I'm the one promoting all of this.
Yeah.
Well, works right there.
I know, I should have parked there. No, but
All these times I think I need to be airdropped in the
Yeah.
morning, because I go around trying to find my driveway into my parking lot's closed. I have to go against traffic.
It's all very
to get in there.
temporary though, to your
Yeah.
point, you know,
It's
it's very
not
temporary.
things that
Yeah.
I can feel, like, you can't judge it for a
Yeah.
while,
Well,
like,
we'll
because of all
see.
those things. The thing is, I met with them, and they're small and mighty.
Gilly Wagon.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like them a lot, the
The girls.
running it, yeah.
Yeah, but, and they just did like the Goonies one in Astoria or wherever. I feel like they logistically know what they're doing, but, all those things, you need to snowball and momentum built. And so,
Yeah.
Well, they haven't communicated what they're looking for either, because we're right there and said, okay, I mean, my team is not gonna be there till midnight. I mean, we might come at 7 and shut down at 10 and run some games for kids or something for a couple of hours, but I mean,
I think they're open to that too, though. That was my impression.
well, I mean, I'm there anyway, so I can do it whether I can do it no matter what,
Yeah.
right? And just add to whatever else is there. But I wouldn't even probably necessarily need to say anything as long as I'm providing something fun, right? Just like you could do something fun outside of your business and not necessarily.
well, but then you go back to, what time do you put your kids to bed, and who are you having
Right.
games and fun for,
Yes.
and are they drinking? And there's a lot of variables.
There's a lot of stuff,
But-
and then the restaurants, so I don't know anybody who's open past 9 or
There's a
10.
couple that are, but
Yeah.
I do know that they are working with the restaurants, and they're building good relationships with like the Vine and the
Yeah.
Pro
Oh, good.
Bar, and so I think positive things are moving forward.
That's
And I
good.
think it's a great point, Danae, about, I don't think as a restaurant owner in today's market where we have to pay people so much money, it costs a lot for labor, that you are gonna just open because of, on a maybe, and stay open.
Yeah.
But the World Cup's very different. But if this starts to pick up, I
Yeah.
mean, you could speak to that. You could justify the extra hour if you start to see momentum and
Yeah.
marketing around it.
Well, we're open till 1, and you close, the wood shop will be open till 1.
Yeah, how many people do you see kind of wandering, just out of curiosity?
Um,
That time?
Well, yeah,
I feel like-
hotel guests.
Well, it's different.
Yeah, it's not hard to judge because we do have the hotel guests, but there is a lot of walk up.
Yeah.
awful stuff that late at night. I mean,
I feel like Bothell kind of shuts down officially.
it does. I mean,
11 is like.
anybody that's out's gonna end up at the wood shop.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
Is there anything from a marketing standpoint that I could help the hotels with? In terms of the Friday night and then the Moonlight on Main Saturday night events that you could help with your travelers and telling them what's going on, other than checking the begin buckle? Let's,
yeah, if there's some kind of. This is the fun. I definitely gonna do that, but also we're gonna have to talk. I didn't know anything about it until literally right now.
What about a small brochure or something that they can give to like hotel guests? I know that's that's a bigger thing though, with like.
Well, I was gonna say, we could do, pretty cheaply a rack card. I was gonna get Mason, the new communications, is trying to pull together all the different activities. And then with the makers market and people posting, we could have like a fresh sheet that we drop off that somebody, I mean, we've been talking about doing it digitally, but I think if you want to print out that people can grab as they're checking in.
You could do a postcard.
I'll start talking to everybody now and start pushing it in the weekends a little bit, you know.
Well, don't forget,
So, you know.
it's hard when you don't have a press out. It's nice to have something that you can hand to people. But if that's not possible, everything's up to date on the events page for Being a Bothell. So I encourage people to check that page out.
Well, and I mean, I don't know that it has to be, I mean, it can be a small, pretty cheap little index card size, right? It doesn't have to be some huge thing that literally, like you said, just QR codes people right there.
What's going on tonight? Like,
Right.
yeah.
And I think that's something that we can definitely help with. So why don't we try it and see how they're grabbed? You know what I mean?
We do.
The other thing we
our-
could do is some posters that's, what's it called, Moonlight on Main or something, and then there's a place for a QR.
Well,
code.
You know, the website says 6 to 11, right?
I
You
think,
say midnight, the website says 6 to 11, I just.
well, I think that, honestly, what we're talking about is the big picture of many things happening
Yeah,
and not just me
I
letting
think
me.
there's, system right
Yeah.
now. It's messy.
it's confusing. for
Are
sure.
you on their website or the?
Yeah.
Moonlight and Maine.
We-
I think they
noticed a
switched
couple.
it from like talking about it as a night market to
Yeah.
Moonlight on Main. So it goes
So I think I've seen it somewhere this week's garden theme.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
And then outdoor recreations on Saturday.
Did they already change the time?
They might have. I think they changed it like Friday night though, because I was at the event Friday and I think it actually wrapped up at 11 p.m.
Yeah, they
It's like the
changed the
latest I've seen
time
out.
from 6 to, okay, good to
Yeah.
know. Good to know.
Well, that's so many things.
Things change.
But what they should do a postcard and I can reach out to them and say, this is something, we print, from Vista print 4x6 postcards
I
like.
said they have funding. They should do it.
They should.
Yeah, that's why I
They
was
should,
backing off.
they should, they've been talking, they come into our
It's
business all
their
the time.
It's their job.
They
to
should
do
be
that.
giving us flyers too, to
Exactly.
pass out.
But-
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, we just planned an entire event on the July 19th around the 7 p.m. start. So
Did they change it from 6 to 11?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I thought they did 7 to 11.
They did.
6 o'clock.
It
Okay,
it was. It's been updated on their website.
all right.
Then this has been an ongoing challenge.
Yes.
What was the original? You said 7, they did 7 to midnight?
Yeah.
well, I think their contract is, why are they allowed to just change it?
Well, maybe there's some conversations around that.
That we aren't aware of. Yeah.
I don't know, I spent a lot of time at my office and it's 10 o'clock, Main Street's pretty
Dead.
dead.
Besides the one or two random.
But that's the
Yeah,
point
with
of
the
doing
bar.
this, we're
Yeah.
trying, and you've got to give, council credit. This was their.
Oh, no, I think it's a great idea.
idea.
I'm not being negative about the activities. I think it's great. I'm just saying that once it's 10 o'clock, it's gonna be hard to keep a crowd. And if you're trying to build activities,
Yeah.
10 o'clock is pretty much the end of the road for most people on Main Street.
I will say though, even when I've
Except
done
the
a lot
bar
of
crowd.
daytime fairs, 5 hours is a really long time
Yeah,
to do anything. in a
yeah,
community.
yeah.
So the 5 hours is actually probably the issue,
Yeah.
not whether it's 10 or 6 or 5.
Well, and getting
Even
them to
daytime.
participate for 5 hours is really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Just.
and then also the ones that stay up to midnight tend to be college age
And they're drinking.
and they're drinking.
Yeah, they're drinking, they're not.
And our college population is way subdued in the summer months. And I think our median age is the mid-40s. By the time you hit the mid-40s, people are like,
Well, keep in mind.
it's the rare person that wants to stay up till midnight.
Keep in mind too, that there's a lot of new density downtown. We have a lot of apartments that are in place and we are trying to welcome this community into
Yeah.
Bothell.
There's a lot of young people too, but it's
There-
mostly like I've noticed like young families. Like we really get new customers. It's like younger couples like in their 30s and young children.
There are a lot of single people in these apartments, but I
Yeah.
will say that, sometimes you live here and you do everyday stuff here and then you go meet your friends elsewhere.
Seattle or something.
But I'm excited to have some things from here. I mean, like, I think it's all
a safe
positive.
community.
I do think that, that the 5 hours for the whole time is a lot. You don't even have farmers markets that long, you know, so, or at least not.
If they did 6 to 10, it would have been pretty good. 6 to 10.
Well, that's why the whole thing's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just
Well,
want
at
to,
least they're trying. I mean, I'm not, I don't want to sound negative here. I'm really glad that somebody's trying to do something. I think it's great. And I really love it that it's not me. I mean, for years, I felt like I was the only one that did anything. And so it's really nice to have everybody stepping up wanting to do stuff. It's great.
yeah, it'll be a year of experimenting.
Yeah.
And figuring it out. But there's an energy around how many vendors you have, so people think they're coming with something. And
Yeah.
but they're really working on it, and they told me that they're really working on the entertainment side to like,
Okay.
and more, it's not so much about shopping as much as it's.
Reach out to them too then, because there's a few like,
Before we move on to the next item, I want to say one of my hopes for Bothell has been increased, busking on Main Street.
yeah,
And a lot of musical people in Bothell.
Yeah.
Would love to.
I like that.
What have we done to make them feel welcome?
I know, I even tried to get, back when it was big to get pianos rolled in. You know,
We have a piano in our shop.
yeah, we just rolled out the door.
We could.
Pianos on parade.
Beast. It's a beast. But yeah, no, I would love that. No, we have
People
even.
around it.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. We're trying to do more music too for like our receptions to just, and we have our doors open, so bringing people in. I kind of like the idea of wheeling it outside. I'd have to ask the owner of the piano if that's okay.
Well,
But
as, as an owner of an upright that we're waiting for a child to move to his place,
yes,
old wooden uprights are dinosaurs.
yes.
Most people are into keyboards now, so.
Yeah.
You think that we could.
But they're beautiful though too. Like we haven't tuned that thing in years and it still
It's-
sounds amazing.
The city of Auburn has a program called Panels on Parade. They hire artists to decorate the piano. They're all uprights, like what you're
Yeah.
talking about. And then, but they have the capacity to store them, and then they bring them out during the summer months and they put them on their main street, and so people can play whenever they want.
And then we have some, we have businesses that have awning that would be just say easy enough to roll a piano there and let it stay out,
Well, and I think the partnership is with the businesses, so the businesses are responsible for rolling them in and rolling them out every day
Oh,
and taking them in.
that'd be
There's a torrential downpour,
Yeah.
those kinds of things, so.
Yeah,
That's a cute idea though.
I do like that a lot, yeah.
This is a celeste, really small pianos. Like that you hear like in Nutcracker, the little tee, tee, tee. Yeah, just a little, I don't know how long people would enjoy hearing.
That's how you
Oh,
sound.
that's easy.
Okay. Printed map?
Just a quick update. We are down to our last box. We are going to be making updates. I'm still waiting for Don Ting Chun to go into business. And once that happens, then we'll be able to print the new printed map.
What is this?
It's hard to get
Oh,
a
okay.
printed
I
map.
didn't realize it was a map. That's cool.
It's quite popular. The visitor center at the chamber has these, and people take them all the time, and they're always asking for
Can
updates.
I get some of those in my shop?
Yeah, well, I don't even know if we have any left. I
Okay.
mean, we can,
We're down to the
do you
last.
have a box here? We can grab some.
Yeah, so I think we might have some, we have a meeting today, so I'll bring you some
Okay.
if I can, if I'm gonna be nearby.
Yes.
But we're gonna make, obviously, we need to make some updates. Printed, is challenging. It usually goes out of, something is off within a month or two of, a business goes out, business or whatever. But anyway, we are down to kind of finalizing it. I just want to feel confident that Dong Ting Chun is actually going to
Who is
go into
that?
business. They're going to be on the corner of Bothell Way and I-22, in the new Alexan building, right next to Side Hustle.
Are you hearing rumors or not?
No, I just keep waiting for them to open and it's not happening.
Is that a restaurant?
Yeah.
So it's an Asian infusion restaurant, so. And then I've heard that Paquitos is going out of business, so
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I know.
They're, but the person who was gonna take over their lease, dropped out, so now they're just waiting. Yeah.
Huh.
It's too bad.
Waiting for one.
Someone else to take over their lease.
Oh,
571
went out to.
Anyway, but they are gone. I don't know.
Is that was that the steakhouse?
Well, it's
Yeah, it's like stacked.
Oh, yeah. I never.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, that was never what we first met.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I never.
Okay, so ready to hit revenue? I'm gonna nip out for just a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, so I wanted to, as you all know, when we met in 2024, we were talking about contracts that we had. We bring in about $420,000 a year in revenue through the hotel motel tax fund. And, the funds are very restricted by law. They can only be spent in 3 ways. We can market to people 50 miles away or more. And that's where we do Begin at Bothell, the website, and then all of the social, the e-newsletter, the SEO, lead generation, and the blogs. So every month we are doing all kinds of outreach to people 50 miles away or more to try to encourage them to choose Bothell to stay in our hotels. We are marketing all of our hotels. We're mostly marketing experiences. If we were marketing the hotel every single time, nobody would be interested, but we're working all the time on creating new blogs and new ideas. One blog that we're working on right now, soon, will be interviewing Katie of T55, because not only do they have that great bakery, but now they've started a restaurant that a lot of people don't know about. So we're going to be doing a special blog there. We did a post this week, or are we getting ready to do it? I've just reviewed the content, but the new pottery business that's that just moved in next to Julio's.
Yeah.
We've done quite a bit of other promotion recently, 4th of July. We also work hard on being relevant, and we will find popular reels, and we'll use those. So we just recently did one where it was not your average destination. We did one that was called This or That, and so you asked people, do you prefer to be riding your bike along the Burke Inland Trail, or do you prefer to be on a paddleboard on the river? So, people will then respond, and it's interactive. And then we're always pushing people back to the website. So our visitors really are based around the number of people that are on our website, which hopefully in the end translates into visitors coming and spending the night in our hotels.
Mhm.
The money that we receive is a tax on our hotels. So the more people we have in our hotels, the more revenue that we're bringing in to continue doing the marketing that we can. 2 other ways that we can do it are events that bring in people from 50 miles away or more. And then facilities tied to tourism. So think convention centers and visitor centers are how we can spend those funds. At this time last year, we had brought in $124,000. This year, we're at $75,000. So we're looking at over $48,000 in reduced revenue. And I think the hotels can understand that. They are, we're all struggling. I think that the tariffs have had a big impact on our relationships with Canada. We have a lot of Canadian visitors. I was just talking to Billie Jean last week, and she's doing very well. She's sold out last week and this week. And some of those visitors are actually people coming down from Canada for soccer tournaments. So parents are continuing to support their children, and we definitely reap the benefits of being next to the fields in Redmond. We have spillover there. So that's good news, but our revenue is down.
Did you say it was 78?
75 so far this year.
And just so you guys know, they are building a IHG property down in Redmond, which is, I believe, a Holiday Inn Express or a Holiday Inn. So that's going to be an impact on Bothell as well for these sporting events, because they're going to have more hotels down there, which is going to accommodate the sporting.
And Woodville's getting a big hotel too.
Woodville also is getting closer.
They said-
Yeah, I was in a meeting last week with Adam, and he said that they're getting closer to opening, but it's a boutique hotel. So it's really going to kind of
Not
be,
many rooms coming.
It's kind of like
When you become a center for things, when there's a lot of things in your area, it actually can increase.
Absolutely.
You know, and so it's a good thing to have more, you know?
Well, so you're saying 124 is where we were last year at this time, and we're at 75. That's what I know.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're down almost $50,000.
I
So
mean, honestly, the hotel, I find it frustrating that 2024 was so banner, at least for us, revenue wise, right, for on the hotel side, to just have, I don't know, I don't want to get into what I pontificate uprooted the situation or, playing back into that, but
I think we all know where you're going.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People freak out if they don't want to spend money, right? Like, it's
Here's the
just the way it is, right? And it just sucks that the thing coming out of COVID season get
Smashed.
really going well.
Yeah.
And then now to hit a brick wall of, let's consume more panic, right?
Yeah,
It-
not spend
it's-
money and.
It's super frustrating to me, right? I just keep believing that someone's gonna get out, kids are gonna get out of school, and then it's gonna be okay, right? But I don't know, right?
Well, everything's in cycles.
I know that the Chateau concert nights have been filling up for me pretty good.
Good.
But not like they were like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It is. It's just frustrating to me that 2024, I thought we were like, okay, we're moving past this now for this industry. And then now it's, everybody, let's
Three
freak out.
steps backwards.
3 steps
Yeah.
backwards.
What fear?
And a sidetrack, how is the staffing going for hotels?
Oh, staffing's, for me at least, it's been really good, right? My turnover isn't very high anyways. I tend to keep people for a while. So we've been good on the staffing, like, that's fine, but it's, well, except for nights. If you lose a night out there, it's a little different, but that's been good. I like hiring for the whole property in general has been good and all that. It's just that it's frustrating to see. It's such a great 2024 and then have one thing happen that then it's the whole thing.
I do want to really quickly add that there was one of our grant recipients did one of their performances at McMenamins. They used Haynes Hall. McMenamins was above board in providing all of the necessary equipment that she needed for her production. And there were over 200 people there. It was, and I think most importantly, the staffing was just so on board. They were so quick to get everybody their food. It was really fantastic. Such a great collaboration.
I thought we were great. Woo, we're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's back to normal. And I'm like,
Well, there's no skating in life.
obviously, let's go. Let's ensue financial panic.
Billie Jean, how are things going for staffing for you?
Oh, I never have any troubles with staffing usually.
Oh,
I
it's
have
good.
long-term staff that's been here 25 plus years,
It's good to hear. Okay.
or 8 years. So we're all long-term. We don't really have a lot of turnover.
It's really good to hear. We weren't hearing that coming right out of COVID. I interrupted you. You were on a roll with are we
That's
all
all I
clear?
wanted- that's
Okay,
what I wanted to say there.
okay. And now we're down to committee report. Any general comments or reports? No? Okay. Leading to second to last item, future meeting date and agenda.
Quickly, we are meeting in July, excuse me. It's the third Tuesday, so mark your calendars, 10 a.m. We will be talking, I know that Sandra Lee is interested in talking about some ways that the chamber is interested in continuing to activate the physical location. We have a contract with them. We're providing about $66,000 a year for staff support as well as rent support for the visitor center. That contract ends at the end of 2027. So I think that we need to start having conversations about, what will be LTAC's contribution to continuing that for the future. So I know that Sandra Lee wanted to do a presentation for that. Are you still feeling good about July to do that, Sandra Lee? Okay, great. And then I also am interested in having Street Sense come and give a presentation. This is the marketing agency that does so much of the marketing for Begin at Bothell, as well as all of the social, and I'd like them to come and give an update on where they're at so far halfway into the year. So I'd like to include that on the agenda too. It sounds okay to you.
July 15th. And.
Do we have other meetings set up too besides July 15th?
October?
I think we have October.
I don't think I got them on my calendar, even though we just submitted them.
Well, between the city and our own business calendars, it's hard to.
And keep in mind too, I think that we were looking at maybe doing one date, maybe in September, if we didn't have a quorum today, but we did, so we're going to go there.
Yeah,
So,
October 21st, I have it.
yeah, correct, you're right. We have one in July and then one in October. And then we'll have, by law, we have to have a minimum of 4 meetings per year. We've met twice now, so we have 2 more meetings that we'll have this year. And we can always meet more than that if you want. It's entirely up
Well,
to
we
you.
just wanted to
Maybe
get
with the
one
World
up
Cup, we might
into
need to.
November, December.
I'm open to that.
Okey-doke. All right. So covered all in business? Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I moved, we adjourn.
I second that. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Bye, Billie Jean.
Bye, Billie Jean.
Guys have a great day. Hope to see
You
you all
too.
next time.
Right, well, lots of things